Randy Brown is with me, Director of Lifeline-Connect. I guess, firstly, Randy, let's start with the basics. What do you do at Lifeline-Connect?
Stevie, I'm the director at Lifeline-Connect, and so I kind of oversee a lot of the operations there. I oversee the interviewing process and what we do to get them in there. In other words, sorting through the ones and finding the ones that really, really want to get help and getting there connected to the resources that Lifeline has to offer them, and obviously connect them to Christ and get them help. And so overlooking a bunch of the programming and the dorm culture and some counseling and everything that would go along with that.
I jokingly say Randy Brown has heard it all. Have you truly heard it all, or are you constantly surprised by the dynamics of what you do?
You know, you hear different variations, and I know I haven't heard it all, because that would be kind of all-inclusive, but I will say that I'm rarely shocked. I mean, it's like we're almost never shocked, because what addiction does to people's lives and where it leads them, is just you can't imagine that. So in doing this for 26 years, you hear a lot of things that are shocking, and now you hear things that might be slightly different, but it doesn't really shock you anymore.
There are a lot of programs that help men and women get off of drugs and rehab and everything else. Why do you believe that Lifeline Connect with God, so prevalent and important, why it seems to be more successful? Well,
I mean, the answer was in your question when you said with God. And I mean, and the thing is this is, God's always and always will be, powerful enough to deliver us. And the all addictions are fear-based, and we have a God that has perfect love that casts out all fear. That's biblical. And so the reason when I think the magic in Lifeline is that it's a lot of self-discovery tools and techniques and a safe environment where it opens up the need, and the discovery is there, and then getting the God of healing to that spot. Because it's like we can be walking and God is all around us, but because we don't have the right tools, he doesn't get exposed to those areas of our heart that's shut down, that needs him. And I think that God's helped us to create a culture there and a process there to where we can get the God of healing to the things that need healed, and that dynamic's always going to have a positive effect.
Luke is with us. Luke is the newest member of Lifeline Connect. Luke, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Tell me your story.
My story is I was raised apostolic, but not really in the church. I would just go to church because my mom would say I would have to go to church. But I started using drugs when I was 16 after my grandpa passed away, and then I just kept getting further and further out there, and it just got to a point. It was just so bad that I was at a drug house, and there was this guy there, and he just the guy that we would get our drugs from, and he's just a bad dude and everything, and I just felt scared. I was so scared and everything. Just got to the point where I just didn't know what to do, and I just tried to do everything myself, just kept doing everything my way, and just tried to just take care of it my way. Well, I finally got so sick and tired of where I was at, and I was just so scared, and I called out to my mom, and I was like, Mom, I just need help. It was to the point where hear gunshots and just craziness, just night after night, no sleep, nothing like that. So I called my mom, and I asked her for help, and she told me, she was like, I can't do anything unless you do something. She put it on me, and that was exactly what I needed. She showed me nothing but tough love in my whole process, even to the point of tough love where I was incarcerated to a point in prison, and I was about to get out, and I was like, well, Mom, I'm gonna come back and stay with you and everything. And she's like, no, you're not. We just can't have you here. We love you, but we don't love you how you are. We don't love the person you've become. Love the sinner, hate the sin type way. So
how hard, Luke, was that for you? I mean, it's your mom, and you're not allowed to go home.
Right. It was super hard. I mean, I feel like any normal person would have felt like I don't feel loved, But it took me to get to a point where I realized that if even my mom doesn't want to be around me, something's bad, you know, because my mom has just shown me nothing but love my whole life. You know, she's always been there for me.
But you had to go through these valleys, and you had to experience it, but generally there are more than one valley. You have to go over and over and keep saying, I want to stop, I can't stop. And then what was it that absolutely said, now I'm ready?
It was to the point where I was in a closet, crying, scared, hiding from everybody that I called my friends, you know, that people that were around me that cared about me, that I thought cared about me. And I just called out to Randy Brown, and I remember my first call to him, I just was crying, weeping, saying, I need help. I need help. That was the only thing that I could really get out, because I was just so terrified and so scared. I've been up and I've been down in them valleys, but nothing like this valley. This valley brought me all the way to the bottom and some, you know, went submerged to the bottom even more. So it was just... Did
you want to live?
At some points I didn't. I felt like there's no hope for me, you know. Every chance that I've had, I've dropped the ball on it. I mean, I've had nothing but help, and it just, you know, I didn't think that I was worthy enough, you know. Just felt like just giving up and just ending it all at some points, you know.
And Randy, you talk to a lot of people.
Right.
But it's not like, oh, come here. You're tough on them, right? I mean, they have to talk you in to taking them.
Correct. Yeah. And what it is I feel like, and this is what drives me, is I feel like our best chance to help somebody is the first time we get them into the program. And so if I get the fruit there before it's ripe, then I kind of mess up an opportunity if it's their first time. And so though I would just like to take everybody in, I know that's not effective, and it has a negative effect on the dorm culture and then what we're trying to do there. So I'm looking for the people that are really ready to get help. And in his situation, you know, there were a lot of factors there that I look for. One of the things is I had talked to his mom 2 or 3 years before that. So I was in dialogue with his mother, who was maybe an enabling force in his life at one time, and she'd gotten to the point where there's nothing else I can do to help this kid until he starts taking some steps himself. So that had been going on for 2 or 3 years, and I knew that was part of the context. And all of a sudden, I've never talked to Luke before, and my wife and I are driving down the road in our car heading somewhere, and I get a phone call, I take it, and all of a sudden, in that moment of time, all of a sudden, you know, God hooks up somebody that has a desire to help people with a scared kid literally in a closet. And to answer your question, Stevie, he did want to live. Mm-hmm. I mean, there may have been some times when he felt like he didn't want to live because it was hard, but because something welled up inside that kid, said, I want to live. And his mom had given him a phone number that he stuck in his pocket I don't know how long ago. And he goes to a closet and he calls, and my wife and I pick up the phone, and we're talking to this kid that was born in Illinois but is now in Florida living in a drug house, shots and all kinds of crazy stuff. And we hear somebody that wants to live, and that's why we call it Lifeline-connect. God makes that connection of the help that he has to offer with the people that need it. And then within a week, you know, there he is. He's right here. How
do you feel now? Give me the feeling from your mom and dad. The what's happening?
I just feel so grateful. You know, the attitude of gratitude. It's what they say a lot here, and I'm just so grateful. You know, it's for me. I want to feel loved. I want to feel accepted, and that's what I feel here at Lifeline. They help you through areas that you never really knew you had, you know, because Brother Brown, he just can point stuff out that you don't see. You know, he could take a little thing that you do and make it to maybe one of those deep roots that you guys talk about and everything. And my mom, I remember I called her and told her I was going to go to Lifeline, and she was just so excited, and her and my grandma just dancing over around the kitchen and everything, just rejoicing, just thanking God and everything. And I smile now, you know. I went from not being able to look in the mirror to, you know, like looking in the mirror and smiling and being happy.
You got hope.
Right, and I have hope.
You got hope and a direction.
Right.
And a guy that isn't going to let you slip anymore. Those days are done. Randy Brown is going to be there for you, and this is going to take a year, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at least, I mean, that's a good start. And we know that the recovery process, like the mind part of it is a 3 to 5 year process. And we walk, even when they go out the door of the program through our mentoring processes and everything else, we continue to walk with them through
and it's got you forever, really. I mean, you're going to be friends and connected.
Correct.
It's just a long-term friendship.
Right.
And so when you 7 out of 10 of Lifeline Connect get through and they stay through, the 3 that don't, would it be because you take them early or something else, some dynamic? Your program works.
Right. It's really, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm sure that can be in the equation. It's otherwise like they weren't quite ready. We do get guys that aren't quite ready, but usually, in all honesty, Stevie, they don't last for more than a couple months.
Okay, because if they don't do the deal, they're out.
Right, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because we try to mentor them, and if they don't respond to mentoring, they become contrary to dorm culture that we need for healing. And so the process eliminates a strong word, but removes them out of the program, but the door is always open for them to reapply in 30 days. So
Randy Brown, Director, Lifeline Connect. Luke, newest member of Lifeline Connect, coming up January 30th. You can join them. We got Nathan Whitaker, among others, James Brown, and we got some great people. 6 to 7 p.m. on the 30th of January. You can go to lifelineconnect.org, learn all about it, and donate and help. You'll create more stories like this, more ripple effects for generations that change lives, change families. And it's right here in Champaign-Urbana. Lifeline Connect. Gentlemen, thank you. Appreciate it very much, Randy. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
Lifelineconnect.org, lifelineconnect.org.